let's understand that why is this particular act so much in the news. So अगर ये क्वेश्चन अगर आपके जीडीपीआई में कहीं पे भी आता है तो आपको एटलीस्ट उतना नॉलेज ये वीडियो दे देगा जिससे आपको ये एक्ट क्या है, इसकी इम्प्लीकेशंस क्या है। Okay there, hello everyone and welcome to the second video in the series of GK preparation, and we have a different topic today and one that is quite interesting. So I hope you guys are all pumped up to learn about this particular topic, that is of Citizenship Amendment Act. Now guys, this has been in the news for the longest period of time and I know that अगर आप newspapers नहीं पढ़ते हैं तो then learning about this particular topic can be a little difficult or it can be a daunting task. However, do not worry because we are here for your rescue, and in this particular video, we will learn the A to Z that you need to remember with respect to the Citizenship Amendment Act. This particular video will be targeted in a way that if at all in any of the GDPI that you come across for any of the colleges, if this particular question pops up, and trust me, the likelihood of this question popping is quite high. So अगर ये क्वेश्चन अगर आपके जीडीपीआई में कहीं पे भी आता है तो आपको एटलीस्ट उतना नॉलेज ये वीडियो दे देगा जिससे आपको ये एक्ट क्या है, इसकी इम्प्लीकेशंस क्या है, इज इट अ गुड थिंग, अ बैड थिंग, all of those factors will be covered, based on which you guys can take a stand when given in a situation where you have to answer around this particular topic. You will have ample resources. So throughout this video we need to ensure that we have a book and a pen wherein you are jotting down notes, and I will also highlight what are the important things that I'm covering. So make sure you watch the video right till the end, because at the end I will be taking you guys through the key takeaways that you need to remember for Citizenship Amendment Act. Alright, now with that, let's get your coffee, let's get your pen and paper, and let's start with the topic. Okay, let's start off with a very important yet, sort of neglected question. Are all the citizens living in India equal? Now, this in itself could be a GDPR topic that comes your way. But guys, think about it at this point of time, the situation. If you're living in the urban areas, you may have I am assuming you may have a broader mindset. Whereas, if you're living in a situation wherein you feel that, there's not a lot of equality in this country, then you might have a narrower perspective coming into the picture. I am not here to tell you guys what is right, what is wrong, but it's a question based on which this particular act comes into the picture, wherein your citizenship is put to question according to some, and wherein your citizenship is made stronger according to some. So there are two point of views coming into the picture while we are analyzing this particular act, and let's look at that in detail. First off, let's understand that why is this particular act so much in the news. एक्चुअली ये एक्ट के अराउंड हो क्या रहा है कि इतना ऑलमोस्ट हर एक न्यूज चैनल इसके बारे में कवर कर रहा है. So what's happening is that there are a lot of protests across the country that have erupted due to the Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019. All right, so there have been protests around this particular act, thanks to which this particular act has been in the news. So exactly, if in a brief I were to tell you ये act में actually होता क्या है or what is it that the act entails, then the answer to that is that this particular act will plan or aims to change the definition of illegal migrants. Okay, illegal is a very strong word that we need to highlight. Illegal immigrants, all right, which includes Hindu, Sikh, it could be a Parsi, a Buddhist, also Christian immigrants from Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh, who have been living in India without permission. So they are currently living in India, but they do not have the right permissions. All right. So this particular act aims to target those people. Now, What will happen if this particular act is passed? If this act is passed in 6 years, let me put that on the screen. We are looking at the figure of 6, all right? In 6 years, they will be granted fast track Indian citizenship. The standard eligibility requirement for naturalization has been 12 years of residence. Alright, so pehle ka situation was 12 years. Now we are looking at a fast track Indian citizenship, which you can get in a matter of 6 years. Alright, so that is the fast track version of it. Let's move on and understand a little more about this. Okay, now, the law protects those who are forced or compelled to seek refuge in India. Okay, जिस situation के हिसाब से, if they have been forced or they are compelled to take refuge in India due to persecution on religious grounds, will get protection through this particular law. All right. The goal that you have to keep in mind is that people who have the goal of this act is to keep the people safe from the consequences of unlawful migration. All right, so there are, of course, if it's unlawful in nature, anything, migration to chodo, anything that we come across, if it's unlawful in nature, is bound to have some amount of consequences. All right, so the goal of this particular act is to keep people safe from the consequences. The citizenship deadline is December 31st, 2014. All right, now this is a very important date, and guys, in your GDPI अगर आप ये date specifically mention करते हो, you have some brownie points coming your way for sure. All right, so what do I mean by this deadline? Deadline का मतलब है कि अगर candidate, a particular person who is migrated to India should have arrived in India on or before this particular date. All right, so on this date is also included, before this date is also included, but after this date that person is not included. All right, so what are the current citizenship rules that we need to keep in mind so that we can understand what is the amendment coming into the picture? Okay, so citizenship in India is currently granted to people like you and me who were born in India or have lived in the nation for at least 11 years. So you have two options: either you are born in India, all right, you are either born in India, or else you have been here or living here for at least 11 years. Make a note of that, guys, extremely important. And if this has been very interesting to you so far, I would request you to pause this video, hit that like button, share your comments on this in the comment box below, and with that, let's move forward. Okay, we are coming to the main part of it कि center का logic क्या है behind the bill. What is it that they are saying to propose or strongly propagate whatever is mentioned in this particular amendment act. So center का logic क्या है पहले समझ लेते हैं. Now according to the center, there are several minority groups who have fled persecution in Muslim majority countries. But there is a flaw associated with this particular logic that the center has. And what is that flaw? The logic is flawed because the statute does not protect all religious minorities or extend to all neighbors. Okay, so there is a distinction coming into the picture. What is center's logic and what is the flaw that we are talking about? Okay, now we are going to look at some of the situations in Pakistan. We are going to look at the situations in Myanmar, just so that we understand what is the entire act about. All right, so in Pakistan, the Ahmadiyya Muslim sect as well as Shia Muslims endure prejudice. All right, and accordingly, we look at even Myanmar's. So Myanmar's Rohingya Muslims and Hindus, as well as Hindus and Christians and Tamils in Sri Lanka, experience persecution. Okay, Hindu, Christian, and Tamils in Sri Lanka experience persecutions. Now, Muslims can seek refuge in Islamic countries, but the administration has not responded to the other questions. All right, so there has been some ambiguity that is coming into the picture. A very important point that you can highlight in your GDPI if you are forming an opinion of being against this particular act. So if you are in the against group, this is what you need to talk about. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys have got a gist of what the Citizenship Amendment Act is, what is it that you need to talk about in your GD, and a lot of other points. I hope you guys have made your notes. Make sure to revise them before your GD. And I will see you guys next time with the next topic.
All right.